Hey everyone, Kayley here. So today's princess is Princess Jasmine, and I have this version which is a little bit easier, and then I have a more elaborate version that's very similar to her hairstyle in the movie. So everybody will be able to do one of these. I think you should watch both just because it's cool to see how they all come together. And I hope you guys are really excited, and thanks again to my friend Kristen for modeling for me so you guys can see this with a brunette. So let's get started with the easy one. Start out by putting on a stretchy headband, and then just use a couple bobby pins to hold that in place so it doesn't move around while you're trying to do this hairstyle, because that can be a huge pain. Then take a section of hair from the front and you're just going to wrap it around the headband. You guys have probably seen this method before. What I like to do is to take a section and wrap it around once and then let it fall, and then just pick up another section and wrap it around. Instead of wrapping the same section around over and over and over again, I just think that makes it cleaner. So I just did this with the hair that was in front of the ears, and then you can continue with hair from the back if you want to as well. Once you've got the first side done, go ahead and do the same thing on the second side. Then I just added on a Princess Jasmine headband and bobby pins the hair in place just to make sure everything stayed really well. Next we're going to make the little bubbles. What you're going to do is just go a couple inches down the hair that's left and tie an elastic around that. Then you're just going to pull the hair apart that's over the elastic so that you enhance this kind of bubble shape. And one thing that I did that really helped was to take a small piece of hair from the ponytail and then hold that while the other hand held the elastic and pushed straight up. And you can see that really enhances the bubble shape. Then you're just going to continue doing the same thing with the remaining hair. Just go a couple inches down, secure it with an elastic, scrunch it, and pull it apart until it looks as bubbly as you want it to. And you can basically do as many as you need to go all the way down your hair. With Kristen, I just needed to do 2. Then I just wrapped some ribbon around all the elastics. This ribbon I had just cut and then put Velcro on either side, so I just wrapped it around and stuck the 2 Velcro ends together. And once you've done that, your hairstyle is complete. I love this one. I think it's super easy. Just about anybody can do it, and it's great if you're doing hair on a child as well. So now we're going to move on to the more elaborate kind of cosplay-y one, which is super fun to do. For this hairstyle, I had to recreate Jasmine's volume, so I used 2 twist forms, and then I also have my accessories with the headband and the ribbons and the elastics, but you can also see that I had these hair bubbles, which I made to fill out the little bubbles that she has in her hairstyle. To fill up the hair bubbles, I actually just used some cotton batting. You can use normal cotton or whatever you want, and then I also had some pantyhose that I got from the grocery store for less than $1. So I basically took the batting and formed it into this shape that I wanted it to be in, like the size that I wanted the bubble to be, and then I put the pantyhose over it, which was actually a lot easier than I thought it would be. I just kind of pulled it apart like you're getting ready to put it on, but instead I just stuffed the cotton into it. Then to hold the bubble in place, I went ahead and tied a knot in the hose just over the bubble. And then I went ahead and pulled out some more cotton to make another one just above it. And you want them to be about the same size. You can make them a little different if you want, but these were as close as I could get them to the same size. And then I just stuffed it into the pantyhose and tied another knot, and then we're ready to move on to the next step. To make my life a little easier, I decided to cover the bubbles with hair, so I grabbed some Kanekalon hair and laid it out and just put the middle on the top bubble and bobby pinned it right into the pantyhose. And then I just arranged the hair over the bubble so that it completely covered it, and used an elastic to hold that in the middle of the bubble. Then do the same thing with the second bubble, just arrange the hair around it and then secure it with an elastic. Then with the hair that's remaining, I'm going to make a bun by twisting the hair and then wrapping it into the shape of a bun, and then I'm just going to bobby pin that in place. This little bun is going to end up helping us to make the little end of the bubbled hair look really nice and poofy and pretty. You'll see how it all comes together at the end. The last thing that I did to prepare the hair was to do a U-shaped part and then just attach this very big clip of synthetic extensions. They're very inexpensive, so they're perfect for Halloween if you just want to add some more length and volume to your hair. Then I let it down, and now it's time for the hairstyle to commence. I started by teasing the hair at the crown just because the twist and everything else is going to be so big, you want to match the volume on the top of the hair as well. So I just teased in sections and then pulled it back and smoothed it. Once it was smooth the way I wanted it to be, I grabbed it all together in one hand, pushed it up, and bobby pinned it in place. Then you're going to grab all the hair from just behind the ear forward and brush it in front so that we can go ahead and make the twist. You're going to grab one of your twist forms and wrap the end of the hair around it. Then you're going to bobby pin the end of the hair in place to make your job just a little bit easier. Then all you have to do is just roll the thing up like a sleeping bag, and you can see that you create this perfect little twist. If the hair around your face is a little bit longer, go ahead and take this time to make sure that it is wrapped nicely around the front of the twist. and then go ahead and bobby pin everything in place. If your hair is a little shorter, once everything is pinned, then you can go ahead and make sure that all these little hairs are arranged nicely over the front of the twist and then pin them in place. And now we'll do the same thing on the other side. So take all the hair from just behind the ear forward, wrap the end around the twist form, bobby pin that in place, and then roll it up to create your twist. Again, watch how it's forming in the front, make sure that everything looks really good as you're doing this, and then put in as many bobby pins as you need to hold everything in place. And it did take me a good few bobby pins to make sure these twists stayed exactly where I wanted them to. And then of course, make sure everything looks really good from the front if your hair is a little bit shorter, and pin everything in place as you need to. And then I put on her headband, but I would actually recommend that you do that before the twist because it would have been a lot easier if I had done it that way. And now it's time for the bubbles. I'm going to put the top of my bubbles right against her head and pin it in place. I did use a good couple of bobby pins for this too, and you can see that I'm doing this right between the two twists as well. Then to help me wrap the hair around the bubbles, I'm taking pieces of the side of the hair that's left down and draping it over the top of the bubbles and pinning that in place. And I'm going to do that twice on both sides. So here's my first one on the second side. I'm just draping it over and then pinning it in place. I'm going to do it once more on either side. This just helps to cover the base of the bubbles but also get some hair on top, so that now when we're brushing the hair over it, it all goes really nicely. So that's your next step, is to go ahead and brush the hair so that it nicely goes over the hair bubbles and makes that lovely little shape that Jasmine had. And I'm going to use a DIY hair bungee to secure that, so I'm putting 2 bobby pins through an elastic so that you have one on either end. And I'm getting the hair exactly where I want it, and then I'm going to stick one end of the bungee into the bubble, and then wrap the other one around. And then once I get all the way around, I'm just going to pin that one in place. Now we're going to do the same thing on the second bubble, so just brush it so that it's nice and smooth all the way around, and then I'm going to use another little DIY hair bungee, stick one bobby pin in, wrap the elastic around, and then stick the bobby pin in again. Then all we have left to do is deal with the end. So I'm going to brush the hair around the bun that's left, and you can see that's adding volume to the ends, quite a bit of it actually, which I love. And then I'm just going to pin some hair on top to make sure that it stays where I want it to, and that's it for the hairstyle. I know it can look a little daunting, but I think the steps themselves are very simple. There's just a lot of extra help that you had to help you create this hairstyle, from the bubbles to the twists and the extensions, but all together it comes together fairly easily, and I really love this. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well, and I hope you check in for my next video very soon. I'll see you then. Mwah! Bye!